I just spent 2 weeks testing a pair of smart glasses that can do something Meta's $800 Ray-B bands physically cannot. And before you click away thinking this is another boring tech review, stick around because what I discovered about these glasses might actually save you from making an expensive mistake. Here's the thing nobody's telling you. One of these can stream full Netflix movies in what feels like a private 100 inches theater, run 3 virtual monitors at once, and even replace your laptop for actual work. The other one, well, it's made by Meta, and yeah, Mark Zuckerberg wants $800 for it. But here's where it gets interesting. The more powerful option isn't from Apple, Google, or any of the big tech giants you'd expect. I'm talking about the Inmo Air 3 versus Meta's brand new Ray-B band display glasses. And after testing both of them extensively in coffee shops, on flights, and during my actual workday, I've got some thoughts that might surprise you. See, most reviewers get these products, film some B-roll, read the spec sheet, and call it a day. But I wanted to know what happens when you actually try to use these things for real tasks. Can you work on them? Are they comfortable after 2 hours? And most importantly, which one will you actually still be using 3 months from now? And which one ends up in a drawer? Because let's be real, we've all bought gadgets that seemed amazing on day 1 and became paperweights by day 30. So Meta just launched their Ray-B band display glasses at $800, and they're getting all the headlines. They've got that familiar Ray-B band design, Meta's AI assistant built in, and a tiny display in the right lens. Cool, right? But then there's the Inmo Air 3, launching at $899 for early adopters. And on paper, it sounds similar. Smart glasses with displays, big deal. Except here's what makes the Air 3 fundamentally different. Meta's glasses are running on a Qualcomm Snapdragon AR1 Gen 1 chip with 2 GB of RAM. They're designed primarily for voice commands, capturing photos, and showing you notifications. The Inmo Air 3, it's running full Android 14 on an 8-core Snapdragon processor with 8 GB of RAM and 128 GB of storage. Let that sink in for a second. This isn't a companion device that needs your phone. It is your phone, your tablet, and potentially your laptop replacement, all strapped to your face. Now, let's talk about what you're actually seeing through these things, because this is where the differences get really wild. Meta's Ray-B band display uses a single 600x 600 pixel monocular display in just the right lens. It gives you about a 20 degrees field of view at up to 90 Hz refresh rate. And to be fair, for notifications, turn-by-turn directions, and text messages, it works pretty well. But the Inmo Air 3 takes a completely different approach. Each lens hides a full 1080 Sony Micro OLED display, giving you 1920 x 1080 resolution per eye. That's a 36 degrees field of view with 600 nits of brightness and a 120 Hz refresh rate. When I'm watching a video on the Air 3, it genuinely feels like I'm sitting in front of a massive screen. Meta's display feels more like looking at your smartwatch floating in the corner of your vision. Here's a real-world example that drove this home for me. I was on a 4-hour flight last week, and I tested both glasses. With Meta's Ray-B bands, I could read text messages and see notifications, but actually watching content, not really the intended use case. With the Inmo Air 3, I watched an entire movie on Netflix, checked my email across 3 virtual windows, and even did some light document editing. The person next to me had no idea what I was looking at. 0 screen glow, 0 light leak. That's the power of waveguide display technology. It's completely private. Now, Meta's glasses do offer some privacy too, with less than 2% light leakage according to their specs, but the use case is fundamentally different. Here's where things get really interesting for anyone who actually wants to use these glasses for productivity. The Inmo Air 3 is running Android 14, which means you can open the Google Play Store and download almost any Android app. I've got YouTube, Gmail, Google Docs, Spotify, and even some games running on these. And because it has that 8-core processor and 8 gigs of RAM, you can run multiple apps simultaneously in floating windows. I can literally position 3 virtual monitors in my field of view. Email on the left, a document in the center, and Slack on the right. They stay anchored in place as I move my head. It's bizarre at first, but after a day or two, it becomes surprisingly natural. Meta's Ray-Ban display, on the other hand, is much more focused. You get Meta AI integration, which is genuinely useful for things like live translation and real-time captions. You can ask questions, get information, and control features with voice commands. The glasses work seamlessly with WhatsApp, Messenger, Instagram, Spotify, Audible, and a handful of other apps. But you can't just install whatever you want. It's a curated experience, which has pros and cons. The pro is that everything works reliably and the battery lasts longer. The con is that you're limited to Meta's ecosystem and their choice of supported apps. No flexibility, no experimentation, no customization. Okay, let's address the elephant in the room. Weight and comfort. Meta's Ray-Ban display glasses weigh 69G for the standard size and 70G for the large size. They feel like regular sunglasses. You can wear them for hours without really thinking about it. The Inmo Air 3 weighs approximately 119G according to official specs, though some early units measured closer to 135G. That's roughly 70% heavier than Meta's glasses. And yes, you absolutely feel the difference. But here's the nuance that most reviewers miss. The weight distribution actually matters more than the total weight. Let me tell you about controlling these things because this is where both companies tried to innovate and both stumbled in different ways. Meta includes the neural band with every Ray-Ban display purchase. It's a wristband that uses electromyography to read the electrical signals from your muscle movements. In theory, you can control the glasses with subtle hand gestures without touching anything. In practice, after 2 weeks of testing, I found it works about 70% of the time. When it works, it feels like magic. When it doesn't, it's frustrating. Let's talk about money, because this is where the decision gets interesting. Meta's Ray-Ban display glasses sell for $799. You get the glasses, the neural band wristband, a charging case, and integration with Meta's ecosystem. The Inmo Air 3 launched at $899 for early bird backers, though pricing may vary depending on when and where you buy. For that extra $100, you're getting hardware that's roughly 4 times as powerful with significantly more storage, higher resolution displays, and the flexibility of running full Android. But here's what the price doesn't tell you. Both of these glasses might require additional accessories to be truly useful. Prescription lens inserts can cost over $100 extra. A decent Bluetooth keyboard for the Air 3 adds another $50 to $80. And if you want to use the Air 3 as a laptop replacement, you'll probably want a portable battery pack because that 90-minute video playback time isn't going to cut it for a full workday. So after living with both of these for 2 weeks, here's my honest take. And I promise this isn't going to be some wishy-washy, it depends on what you need cop-out. Now, before you rush out to buy either of these, you need to know that what I've shown you today is just the beginning. There are at least 5 other smart glasses coming in 2026 that make even these look outdated. I'm talking about glasses with prescription lens integration, full-color holographic displays, and battery life that actually lasts a full day. If you want to see what's actually coming next and which companies are going to dominate this space, make sure you're subscribed because that video drops next week. And hey, if this breakdown actually helped you understand the real differences between these products, do me a favor and hit that like button. It tells YouTube this is the kind of detailed, honest review people actually want to see, not just recycled press releases. Drop a comment and let me know. Would you choose the lightweight social glasses from Meta or the powerful productivity beasts from Inmo? I'm genuinely curious. All right, I'll see you in the next one.